which would be the East Coast because I'm on the West Coast right now. Because I used to be on the
Right.
East Coast when we did these things. But because of, a 3 hour time difference, and, work and life.
Right.
But the good news now is I'm going to be moving back to the East Coast.
There you go.
Yep. So that will actually be in effect next month. Actually, May 1st will be my uh, new date to be back living on the East Coast.
Right. You excited?
I am ecstatic. So, like, this was only supposed to be a year and a half for me to come out here, have a nice little adventure. Excuse me, I'm pounding down a Coke right now. Have a nice
Right.
little adventure out here, and then it's just like, okay, we're gonna go back home now. Home being the East Coast. Um, so plans changed, and I was like wicked homesick. I would say maybe, I don't know, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, maybe no more than a month. I got like super homesick, dude.
Uh
Like I
huh.
think it was honestly 2 or 3 weeks, and I'm like, I want to go back home. But like it kind of wasn't an option. It wasn't that easy at the time. There was not a revolving door back home on the East Coast, so had to stick it out here. I talk with family and they're like, take this opportunity, explore something different. Sometimes some people don't even get to leave the state that they were born in. Sometimes that's all they know.
Right.
So, like, take this opportunity and chance to go ahead and live on the other side of the country and see what it's all about, see the difference, and, yada, yada, yada. So now fast forward, um, been there, done that. Um, it's gonna be different now when I get back home to the East Coast, where like, I open my blinds or shades, and like, you just see like buildings or whatever. Where I'm living, there's not even like really skyscrapers, so it's not like super big city or anything.
Right.
It's a town, but like they call it like a city. But
Right.
when I think of a city, I think of like New York City, like LA, like Miami, Dallas, Chicago, cities. Like the little towns that they call cities, I don't really call that. But
Right.
anyways, um, right now when I open my blinds and windows and shades and everything, um, I have a beautiful view of a mountain. And, during the cold time of the year,
Uh.
it's snow topped and like it's really freaking nice. So, oh, by the way, I do hear my voice in the background. I don't know
Yeah.
if
Yeah.
it's reverbing.
That's on me. I was just testing. Uh.
Oh,
Give it a quick second here, cause I just want. I'm trying to test the game audio. Yeah.
okay.
Okay.
Oh, am I on mute?
No, no. I'm just
Oh,
listening.
okay. I didn't really hear myself
I mean,
say.
we sound great. I just wanted to
Oh,
hear what
okay.
the game sounded like.
All right.
So
Yeah, see, I hear us again.
yeah, I'll fix that in a second.
Oh, okay. Have to remember all these settings because, again, it's been a hot minute.
Okay. Yeah, I'm gonna say for the most part
Good.
that sounds pretty good. I'm gonna go ahead and
Okay.
mute this. Um,
Wait, what are you muting?
what you were listening to was the stream audio playing.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's why you kept hearing us. Like I said,
Oh, got you.
we both sounded great because like I said, I'm streaming this through
Hmm.
the PC, but I'm watching it on here, and I have the game on full screen, so I can't go back to my streaming
Gotcha.
software. So I'm going for the game Resident Evil 4's options and
Oh, right,
just
right.
messing with the volume settings there. And right now, this sounds like a decent thing. Plus,
Okay.
of course, obviously the game is going through, or the audio is going through my headset. So what sounds good? It's because it sounds great on here. I just don't know if it sounds great on there.
Oh,
So,
well, let's hope
but
it does.
yeah, right. So, all right. Well, I'm good. So you can continue now.
All right, yeah. So, so yeah, I was just talking about like looking at the mountains and snow-topped mountains and whatever. Um, and then of course, you know, to I mean, I'm close to a major city out here, so it's really cool to just be able to, you know, get there in less than like 40 minutes. Sometimes on a good day, I can do it in like 33, 35 minutes.
Right.
And it's just, there's a whole bunch of stuff that's different out here. And it's still always fun too, because like, I'll talk to people out here and sometimes my New England accent comes out
Right.
and they're like, "Where are you from?" And they're like, "You're obviously not from here." And I'm like, "Oh yeah, I know." Like, so yeah, it's just it'll be nice to be back home now. I'm super excited for being close to everything again because where I live right now, like I'm in the mountains. So it takes you know, and there's a little town up here and you know, it's quaint and it's nice. It's definitely super quiet, it's comfortable, it's relaxing, you know, all that stuff. Um, but I've always been used to being like around kind of busyness and having everything locally right around me and not have to go any more than like 20 minutes for something. Just being like close to like malls, shops, eateries, restaurants,
Right.
stuff like that. And if that's something I want, I have to do like, you know, 20 to 40 minutes. And it's just that's just weird and different from me, from what I was used to my whole life. So, you know, that took some adjusting. And driving out here, they call them freeways. Back where we're from, they call them highways.
Right.
And I can see why they call them freeways because there's like 4 and 5 lanes of freaking traffic here. Like, and that's just on one side of the road. Like back where we're from, we get two, maybe three, mm, um, you know, on one side of the road. But yeah, um, yeah, it's definitely been cool. So I can definitely say that like the West Coast and Pacific Northwest was home for me for a little bit after I got past the homesick. And there'll be things I definitely will miss about it, you know. But my heart's always been in the East Coast, always, always, always. Like it's just, you know, they have a saying, and I'm like, um, you know, if you're from the New England area, even the tri-state area, you know, you could try moving away, but like it'll pull you back. And it's just like I was just like, nah, you know, like I'm gonna make it work, you know, like and I did, but you know, when that option, you know, comes around again and it's just like, hey, I have the option to actually move back home. You know, I didn't I guess in the back of my mind, I didn't make a lot of friends out here. Actually, I'll be
Right.
honest. I didn't make any friends out here. I don't want to
Oh.
kid anybody. No, it's I mean I don't want a pity party or anything, but
Right.
like there was a reason I didn't kind of go out of my way to make any friends because I knew the end goal was for me to go back home. Home being East Coast, right? So
Right.
like my thing is I don't want to go and get like a relationship out here, like a romantic relationship with a girl or whatever. And I don't want to go and make like all these friends and then be like, well, deuces, I'm out, you know? And they're like, well, where are you going? And I'm like, well, the end goal for me was always to go back home to the East Coast. So I don't know what you guys are going to do, but this is what I'm doing,
Right.
you know? And that was just always in my mind. So I figured, I have like two handfuls of friends that like I can go and hang back out with and I can call and that are going to be wicked happy to see me and again being close to family and stuff like that. So that's where all my family and friends are is on the East Coast. And it's like and I'm not gonna lie again, I don't want the big party though, but like around the holidays and birthdays, it does get tough. It's one thing saying, "Oh yeah, I'll be fine. Like it's no problem. Like whatever." But when you go through like Thanksgiving or Christmas or birthdays or special occasions and you don't have anybody, it's one thing to say it, but to live it and then be on the other side of the country, that's kind of tough. That's kind of tough. I'm not gonna lie. And, to be like, oh, why don't you just like fly home and see him? Because that costs money. And sometimes working certain said jobs don't allow for that, you know?
Right.
So I don't know. I had the opportunity again to come out here. I did it. I don't have any regrets. I'm happy I did do it. I'm happy I got to experience it. I really loved coming out and, going to the big city, to going to sporting events and everything and doing all that
Ooh.
stuff,
Right.
seeing the lights, seeing the nightlife and stuff like that. Like definitely super awesome. Always, always, always took pictures. I'll always have those memories, but I'm just like, I know where I'm supposed to be. So, and for me, like, you know, I've been looking really hard, because I had made my mind up. I made my mind up in, I was actually working at a job, and this was my most recent job out here that I was working at. And I went to work in the morning, right? Because I had a morning job, so first shift, right? So it was like I c- they gave me flexibility. I could walk in around like 7:30,
Hmm.
and then I work until about like 3:30, like whatever. Um, yeah, and I went in there in the morning, and I mean, I got up in the morning at my place here where I'm still at. Um, did the whole routine, normal, everything, drove to work, was at work, and
Right.
halfway through work, I don't know. Like I think that's when I made the executive decision to like pull the trigger, as they would say.
Hmm.
And I'm like, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna move now. Like I'm gonna do it. And I made that day my last day at work. And
Right.
I hate for it to be like that because I didn't even give them 2 weeks. Um,
Oh shit. Right.
like I finished out the day. I told them I would get through the day. And I would do that. But here's the thing, right? Here's the thing. So, my shift, like I said, was like 7:30 to like 3:30. Um, and then I had what I do. I had Sunday, Mondays off. Um, and like that's fine. But like if I'm supposed to like, if I'm making this decision, which obviously I did, but I need to be able to make phone calls and talk to people back home on the East Coast, and that's a 3 hour time difference. So if you figure if I'm getting out of work at 3 or 3:30 back home on the East Coast, where on time zone you're at, that's like 6 or 6:30. Every place is going to be closed, and
Right.
they'll be like, oh, we'll call you back tomorrow. I'm like, well, what good does that do me? Because I'm going to be at work again, you know? And, I'm starting work out here 3 hours later than you guys start work. And then I get out 3 hours later than you guys end work. So how am I really supposed to like search for like
And
an
stay good.
apartment or, any of that other stuff? And then I have to worry about like moving all my stuff. Cause like
Right.
I went out here, I drove across country, right? So um the majority of my stuff is in storage, but I mean I had to kind of build a life out here and I had to like buy necessities out here. So I mean bed, TVs, I went and I was able to bring like some of my consoles with me and some of my video games and movies, some little collectibles and stuff. But for the most part, and I brought my computer and everything, but for the
Right.
most part, everything else, like entertainment stands, computer, table stands, lamps, desks, end tables, chairs, stuff like that. Like my bed headboard, like all that stuff, shelving units, like I had to go and buy all that stuff while I'm out here. So now, all this crap won't fit in my car, and I'm not driving my car back across country because that's a freaking 4-day trip. Now, if you look it up on like Apple or Google, it's going to tell you it takes like 2 hours and 27, 2 days and 27 hours, right? So damn near almost 3 days if you drive it straight or some shit. Um, but like, it took me and my best friend,
Mhm.
um, uh, which is slash my roommate. Um, it took us like 4 days because we would do like 12 to 13-hour drives each day, and we'd alternate like halfway through. So like after 6.5 hours, like one of
Wrong
us
way.
would rotate and then the other person would drive the other part of the drive, and then we'd like pull into like a Marriott and we'd stay over there overnight, and then we'd leave early in the morning again and then start the process. So, you know,
Right.
but I'm not doing that on the way home because one, that would be like driving solo. Um, which I'm
Control,
not saying,
come
oh,
in.
I'm not like
Luis
scared
at
to
the
do
airport,
that.
but
It's
I have
just that's a
second
long
word to
fucking
leave it.
drive. Like, let's be honest.
Control, do you copy?
That's a long drive. You're literally putting 3,000 miles, three plus
We ran
thousand
into some
miles
unexpected
on the
trouble.
car and going from coast to coast.
What will you do about it?
So I
Luis
also
is
had to
already en
find
route
a
to the
shipping
church.
company, like an
I'm
auto
tracking the next step of the way.
transportation shipper
Very
for
well.
my car.
Then I
Then I also
suggest you
had to
hurry.
find
Copy.
how I'm going to ship all my stuff home.
Just need to confirm my route first.
Which
Heading out to get officially
honestly,
the airport.
I ended up doing their U-Haul boxes,
Mhm.
but like if I say pods, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah, I know
So
what you mean.
like, but they're the U-Haul boxes. So um yeah, so I got all that too. So I got all that booked. So yeah,
I wonder
I'll
what that
finish out
is.
this month here where I'm at on the West Coast, but like I had to get all this stuff booked ahead of time.
That's where I need to go.
And of course
Stick to
I
the
found
high
an
ground.
apartment back,
You have the
home,
means.
where I wanted to, which was very hard to do. Oh, and I'm going back to my old job, the one I was like working at when
Mhm.
like we started talking and doing this in the first place.
Right.
So they're totally happy to have me back, so that's
Forget your
awesome.
mission.
Um,
Be Amber. Nothing else
yeah.
matters.
So
Wrap this little tour up
because
and bring it to
everything is
me.
being shipped from coast to coast,
Understood.
it's going to take time to
Maybe a
get
little
there.
sightseeing first.
Um, so April 13th is when they're coming to take all my belongings. So
Right.
like they're come and I hired like so like they can just come and drop off the U-Haul boxes, and like you can load them up and pack them, or you can drop them off. Somebody will load them up, and then they will take them again as well.
Okay.
So I'm like, hell yeah. So I paid for the movers to do it too then. So I got the movers on like both ends. So like when they get here, they're gonna drop the boxes off. They're gonna come upstairs to like the second floor apartment where I'm at now. They're gonna take all my belongings. They're gonna bring it down the stairs and they're gonna load it into boxes. Um, and yeah. And so I got two of them just to make sure. I've seen the videos. Um, but I don't know. Like, there isn't any place around me locally that has these boxes, so they're coming from quite a ways away. Because I wanted to actually go and kind of like get a bird's eye view, like do a walkthrough or visually see. But there isn't any place where I live currently right now where there is one around me, so I just went and I ordered two, and the lady was really nice because she was just like, you know, if you don't use both of them, then we'll just refund you for like half of what we're charging you. And I'm like, oh, that's cool. So yeah, and then they'll take those. So from essentially the later part of the day on April 13th till April 30th, I will not have any of my belongings. So I'm literally keeping like what I need in like 2 suitcases and a backpack
Right.
because that's what I'll have. Because you know I booked my flight, so I'm allowed to bring like 2 pieces of luggage and a carry-on. So that's essentially what I'm doing, and then everything else just gets shipped. So yeah, I did that, and then they said they're gonna come and pick up my car between April 20th and April 24th. So if there's anything that I need to do, I have to get it done before the last 10 days of this month,
Right.
because then they're gonna end up taking my car. And so hopefully the game plan is I'll get into my new apartment May 1st, and then my car should be dropped off on May 2nd, and all my belongings should get dropped off on May 2nd, if everything goes to plan. And I've already called back home and set up like the internet, because like I'm not gonna need like cable because I stream everything.
Right.
You have like all the subscription services and like YouTube TV. Like you don't need cable. So they're gonna come out and they're gonna do that. The electric and power, that'll be turned on. From May 1st, which is also heat too.
Right.
But yeah. So yeah, and then I gotta let my other job, well, not my other job, well, my old job know that, okay, like, everything's a go, we got green flags. So like I'll be back, and I'll be available like the second week, or like sometime during the second week of May, or like the very beginning of the third week, I should say, of May.
Right. Yeah, it
To,
sounds like things are going really good so far.
It's just, dude, it's a lot. It is a lot of calls I've had to do, a lot of planning, a lot
Right.
of coordinating. And I think to myself, and I'm like, I would have never been able to do this, because like I have to do this all on my own. I don't have any help. I don't have somebody else doing it for me. I don't have like, somebody
Shit.
that's here,
Right.
looking up all that stuff all the time for me. So like this is 98, 90. Let's say 90, 95%, because I do have a certain someone that
Right.
is helping me out tremendously. So yeah, I'm I'm totally happy
This'll do nicely.
about that. But yeah, so you know, I appreciate the help that, you know, she's given me because, you know, she's
Right.
been stellar. But yeah, uh, um, and I'm just, you know, just trying to get all the ducks in a row, and it's just like, you know, you don't think of all the other extra stuff because sometimes some people just like they move like in the same town or same city or same state, and they really don't have to go through and get all that stuff. Meanwhile, like, you know, originally where I was, like, I still have stuff in a storage unit on the other side of the country, like legit. And, you know, and so like I'll be happy I'll be able to pull most of that out because the new place that I'm getting, I don't know how I did it. Honestly, I don't know how I did it, but I was able to pull strings and I ended up getting a 2 bedroom and it's just going to be me, but I
Mhm.
ended up getting a 2 bedroom, so I could take a lot of the stuff out of my storage unit that I have back home on the East Coast, which is, you know, totally local. It's like less than 20 minutes away from my new apartment. But you know, it's one one or two. Technically, I guess it's 2 towns over, but it's like less than a 20-minute drive the way
Right.
I go. I kind of shortcut it. But yeah, and it's good too because I'm not moving to some place that like I'm moving blind again. Because like coming out here, I didn't know any place. I had to learn it all, you know. And it's just like, you know, after being out here for 2.5 years, like, you know, I know the area. It's cool. I know where to go now. I used to have to use like Apple Maps and Google Maps all the time, and then after a while, I'm like, I don't even need to use them anymore. So yeah, it's good. But moving back home, I totally know the area. Like I practically grew up in the area.
Right. Yeah, it sounds like all
So
your puzzle pieces are coming together again. So.
that's exactly what I had said it too, because like the main thing was just trying to lock down that apartment. Because after I lock down the apartment, that's when everything else is gonna like fall into place. And it's just like boom, got the apartment locked down, boom, got the U-Haul boxes, boom, got the auto transport, boom, bought my plane ticket. And it's just like, okay, now you got to call the other places, boom, got like the electric company called, boom, got the internet company called, you know. I'm going to be getting a PO box. So, and they tell me like do that when I actually like get out there. So I'm like, all right, but yeah. So I don't know. I'm super excited, but I just talked a whole bunch. So you tell me stuff now.
Oh. Well, for starters, I'm a little lost. I've not done this side story, and well, I guess it's only been like 3 years, but
Yeah, just shy, but yeah.
yeah, it's mostly like I've killed everyone here, but now I'm like, where do I go? So once I, figure that out. But other than that, yeah, I'm still working the same job that I've been working, and uh, things have been pretty good for the most part. So can't really complain.
Well, that's good to hear. I put myself on mute just for a second there because I'm while I am talking and sharing my novel,
Hmm.
um I am also packing also because, you know, I don't have that much time left. I mean, it's April 1st right now, and they're coming at like April 13th. to take all my stuff. So
Uh-huh.
I want to make sure everything's like as much as is packed now and prepared. Like really, the only thing I'm gonna be leaving out is my PlayStation 5 and my Nintendo Switch 2. Everything else, like all my other games, all my other systems, everything else, that'll all get packed.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're slowly coming back home.
Yeah, I can't wait. I don't know. It's gonna be crazy. People are like, "Oh yeah, are you gonna be like getting homesick for like where you live now?" And I'm like, "No,
Yeah,
nope."
I can imagine. But you've only been out there for what? Just a few years, really?
I mean, a few is three, but like, let's see. So I got out here in September of 2023, and I'll be going home next month, so May of 2026. So May, June, July, August, September. So 4 months short of 3 years. So yeah. So 2 years, 8 months.
Okay. I don't know, it just
Yeah.
felt a bit longer to me.
No, well, dude, trust me, it's felt longer to me also. Yeah. And it's weird though, right? Because like they're like, oh, time flies and don't blink because like, you're gonna miss all this stuff. And I mean, just, look back and think about it, right? Like it almost seems like last week when we were doing these
Right. Kind of does.
because yeah, yep. So it's crazy how fast time goes, but then how it like slows up also at times. So yeah, I don't know. Like I said, like I took plenty of pictures and I have all the memories and stuff like that. And I have the whole adventure and the experience. So I'm like, yeah. I also wanted to treat myself too, because I was like feeling really good about like, and excited about like moving back home. So I ended up getting myself a Switch too.
There you go. How you liking that?
Yeah.
As
So let me tell
the
you.
upgrade to the Switch there.
Well, so I have to say, okay, so I'll be honest. So I've been on the Nintendo bandwagon. I don't even want to say
Oh shit.
bandwagon. Like I
Right.
was pro Nintendo all the way back in the day. That was my first gaming console I ever
Right.
remember, right? Was like the original NES. And then I got the Super Nintendo. And then I got the 64.
Right.
Um, I I've played the original Game Boy. I never owned my own personal Game Boy. And then like all the handheld stuff, like I had went to like you remember this is another thing I got while I was out here. Do you remember the Sega Game Gear?
Yeah, I remember the Game Gear.
Dude, so remember they had a couple different colors. They had the black one, they had the blue one, and I think they had a white one too. But back in the day, I had the blue one, and I had two games that I really, really, really super remember. Wait, three. Three games that I really super remember having for the Game Gear. The Beavis and Butthead game, the
Right.
Power Ranger game, and that Disney the Lion King game. That game is so fucking hard on
Oh,
Game Gear. I don't know why.
right.
But I remember having those three, right? So I actually was looking around because this is something I do every now and again. I'll go on eBay and I remember something that I had from
Right.
back in the day, right? So like you know, whether it's an old school toy or whatever, and I'll be like, oh, I wonder what this is going for. So I've always kind of looked for the Game Gear again.
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I must have been on there at the right time, the right day, and talked to the right person. Let me tell you what I got, and I'll even tell you how much I paid. And you tell me, right? Because
Right.
you're a gamer and you have quite the collection. And I know when you go on your trips, you're always looking for, you know, the game stores and buying this and buying that. And, you know, you share your pictures and everything sometimes, right? So I ended up getting
Mm-hmm.
the blue Game Gear. He included 6 batteries because on each side it would take 3 batteries. He included the 6 batteries. He included um, the universal adapter charger thing to plug into the wall to plug into the Game Gear. So you know you had that adapter. There was a screen protector, 12 games, the official Game Gear carrying case,
Oh wow.
and even the plastic, not just the games, but you remember the plastics that the cartridges would come in. So he even still had those as well. So all of that, right?
Mm-hmm.
And everything was tested. I talked to this dude for I don't know how many times, and we were sending messages back and forth. Because I told him, I'm like, dude, if you're being legit, then I'm totally buying this. I go, I want to see pictures. So he did. He would send me pictures and everything of everything, and I'm like, okay. So 160.